is very, very impressive how open people are. It is like in Karachi, but also Islamabad and Lahore. Like I never felt like unsafe or extremely weird in a certain way. I mean, people are people. They just want to understand why you're there, and then if it's there to smile, then that's reason enough already. I came from Bangladesh, a place that I thought would be very similar to Pakistan, but not at all. I mean, taking the infrastructure, getting from A to B here is pretty easy. In Pakistan, it's a huge market, over 200 million. I think the last census was over 20 million people were counted in the country with high internet penetration. So there's a tremendous potential, and the fact that people just skip a lot of things that the Western world did, like working on a PC or logging on to Google on their laptop, like they go straight to the phone. Yeah? And Uber buying Kareem or Alibaba buying Daraz, acquiring Daraz. These are indications for how much potential is in the country. I mean, obviously we have a certain potential that we see alone in the accessory market, which is roughly 12 billion euros in Europe. And we want to provide a chunk of this at some point. The beginning of the journey was actually meant to be a side journey. Marco, Jen and I, we had lived together for 10 months in the same apartment. For the three of us, the question was, okay, do we want to stay here or do we want to take the next steps as individuals? We said, okay, let's do something that would keep us connected. And then we started looking around what kind of benefits this country that we have lived in for 10 months and we had, that had welcomed us so warmly could provide. And one of these things is definitely the leather. Pakistan has world-renowned leather, especially in garments. So we thought, okay, let's just do bags. Yeah? I mean, not knowing anything about leather bags. But Marco and I thought, okay, we do a bag for ourselves and then we see how our friends find it and the community, and like this is something where we chat once a week, we stay connected and see how it evolves. We got a bag made, exactly, so we started the process a month before we left Pakistan for our summer adventures before the new job, and a few very experimental samples that really had nothing to do with what we had in mind. I mean, not necessarily bad, just completely different to what we had, kind of sketched out. And so we started, meeting people, meeting the supplier in person, getting his vouch to deliver us a bag that we want or the bag that we wanted in the ideal quality and the perfect appearance, now that he had met us in person face to face. We started taking pictures of the first samples. We showed it to friends and family and we started to get the first pre-orders. Hey, we would like to support this. Would you have something with a handle? We had a bag without a handle. Would you have something with a handle or a travel bag or a backpack? So yeah, sure, we can do this, but considering how much effort it was for the first bag, like this would be a significant amount of effort, so let's just take a step back, do this full time, and here we are, 3 years later. The whole concept was we wanted to be direct to consumer. We wanted to cut out all the middlemen. We thought there are actually only two stakeholders that really matter. That is the supplier and that is the final customer. The more we cut them out, the middleman, the more the final customer will benefit because the product just gets more affordable. We wanted to go with this approach and we started on a buying agreement with a supplier here in Karachi. But when you really look into the details, you see the disadvantages. People being let go if there's no order. When I say people, I mean the guys that actually stitch your bag. Yeah, so if there's no order, they will be let go. It's an economical, reasoning of the factories who want to maximize their profits. There, we thought we could come in with guaranteed contracts for all of our workers that would enable them to plan. So even if we don't have work for them, we would notify them, 2 months in advance. And it comes with a ton of plus sides. It's the same people that manufacture your bags. They have the same learning. Every month we do a QC, not only here in Pakistan, but also in Germany, where we have this catalog and provide them basically the issues, if there were any issues. Hey, look, the stitch is not straight, please pay attention to it. So they improve themselves. We started off having to being able to only select the 85% of our products for sale. Today we are at 97, 98%. It's a little bit of a hybrid situation. We are technically not allowed to employ anyone directly. It's an agreement with the factory. They invoice us from the workers to the pencils they use, like really the whole band, all the materials. Yeah, so we don't pay per piece, we pay per hour worked. We are very lucky that we found a very receptive partner, let's put it this way, who sees the value that we're trying to create for people. Meaning, he says, okay, whatever you want to do, you can do, yeah? And I will support you. But all the financial consequences you have to carry yourself. So if we're inefficient, we take the loss. Yeah? Not the workers, not him. And this is something we're very, very lucky and fortunate to have merchandisers or a merchandiser who bought into the principle. We believe that the way you treat people and the kind of concept that you have in mind will guide you to the right people or the right people to you. That having said, it basically means also above average salary. It really tests your limits. And I'm very, very happy that Marco, Jen and I knew each other before for quite some time, and we spent intensive time together, not just personally, but also professionally. There are, I think, quite a few traps that people can step into. I mean, to a certain extent we have also. Like, it's not always easy. Should we produce black leather? So in the beginning it was like, yeah, one guy liked black, the other person didn't like black and wanted to keep it like off mass. And that's something where, you need to establish a baseline. Okay, how do you form decisions? To what level can your subjectivity, your opinion influence the direction of the company? And to what level should you take data to undermine a decision? If you have your set of KPIs for each category of decisions, you will be fine. It really is, I think, the biggest asset that we have in a certain way. I mean, yes, we do sell physical products, but we sell a story along with it, transparency along with it, ranging from where do the raw materials come from to where is the bag assembled. Our bags say something different. They say, designed in Berlin, manufactured in Pakistan, made for you. Retailers start coming to us, yeah? Single retailers, but also bigger department stores. One of these retailers, it was a bespoke tailor, came to us and said, hey, I love your products. I would like to sell them. I take them right away. But you need to do me one favor, you need to keep this tag out, or you need to change this. Obviously this is a super nice compliment to the bags that the people here created, yeah, but in the end it's their story. And we couldn't go with this, or we would not go with this either in the future. Like, the customer has a right to know where this comes from, and the person who made it has basically a right to put its signature. As you feel Pakistani, like they feel like they're part of Buckle & Seam and that they made this product. In the case of Buckle & Seam, it's quite easy. But I think the reason for that is that we have lived here and we have met the people. And people know us as these people from Daraz or Rocket Internet. I would understand that someone who comes in as a guest for 2 weeks only to close a deal or to roam around and find the right information, it's very difficult. A lot of things are said but not done, or can be said and then are not followed up thoroughly, which poses, I think, the biggest challenge for the economy to grow in terms of exports. The fact that you have the culture difference. You probably will not talk serious business until you have been invited for dinner. The fact that getting from A to B is a challenge, that you have long and dry summers, you have Ramadan. If you don't do your due diligence, you will be dry. You will get frustrated and you will not understand how anyone could do business in Pakistan. The other thing is, of course, gender equality. I cannot imagine to do what I do as a woman. If there are topics that need to be discussed and are utterly important and Jenna is supposed to take care of something, but she can't get a hold of him because he will not respond to her but only to me, and then it's like this triangle conversation. It's very, very frustrating. But this is the market, and I think it should not change for us foreigners first, it should change domestically first, because you have, half your population is female, and imagine all the things that could happen if the life would be easier for women. We want to be Europe's #1 accessory brand for personalized goods. This is on the commercial side. On the impact side, over here, we would like to further our engagement and support of the companies that we work with when it comes to digitalization, how to set up a fully functioning ERP software system with them, through which they can not just monitor the inventory but also the production and incoming orders and expand their business locally as well as internationally. That's an ambition of ours. Then we are involved with a school, so 3% of our revenue actually goes to a school in Mahmoud Abbas for girls' education that has grown from 25 to now 137 students. So we are now funding the school to 100%. So they can really focus their efforts on collecting further donations to purchase a bigger property at some point. One of the questions is always security. How do you do it? To give you a recent example, so the founders were awarded, of Bucket and Seams for us, we were awarded the Forbes 30 Under 30 award. We went to the conference that happened 2 weeks ago with 600 other award winners or guests. And we had to introduce ourselves, and really this introduction caught everyone's attention. Like, there were bags, okay, social impact, okay, but Pakistan, like, they could not believe that, we went to Pakistan, or if we went to Pakistan, then they thought, okay, well, they go there because it's, affordable to produce. And when you told them, no, actually, we live there, like, their jaws would drop. The people from the developed countries, they would first raise the security issue. This lady from Nepal, she said, you have like the greatest mountains. Have you been to Kashmir? Like, have you seen K2? And like, wow, yeah, like this is exactly what it is. Like, it's so raw, it's so nice, it's so beautiful, yeah. So it's really nuanced. Like, you have people who first see that, and you tell them, look, this is not what the country is about. It's really minority. It's a very selective media coverage. Like, people do not talk about the successes there are, the potential that there is. To us, it seems like, considering the situation that we saw Pakistan maybe 8 years ago or 10 years ago, compared to where it is today and what people think and how people see the future, is quite impressive and colorful, I would say.